Hi lovely people, welcome back to my channel. It's Candy here. Today I am doing a flip through of this deck, the Tarot of the Spirit by Pamela and Joyce Eakins. I've mentioned it before, but I've not done a flip through. It was part of my Christmas present stash to myself, along with the two books that come with it. There is this book. You can see it is quite a chunky beast of a book. It's over 400 pages, and also I went the whole hog because learning about Kabbalah and the Tree of Life is something that I really want to study this year. It's one of my goals, so I got this one as well, which again you can see that's one hell of a book. So I've got the two books to go with the deck. I've started reading this one. It's really good so far, but today we are going to do a flip through of the deck, which is probably one of the most beautiful decks I think I've ever seen. So I can't wait really to share it with you. Okay, so you can see it just comes in a plain tuck box. It comes with a little white book. Look at the size of the card. If I compare it to a Rider-Waite, you can see it's exactly the same. It's absolute bog standard card size. What you do get in the deck as well is this clear plastic Tree of Life cover that goes over the top of the cards like this. So it's all linked with the Tree of Life, this deck. Don't ask me how yet, because I haven't worked with it yet. I have flipped through it so many times though, because there is something about this deck that draws me in that I absolutely adore, but I haven't worked with it yet. I'm reading the book, I'm flipping through it. It is my deep dive deck for at least this month. It's going to take me way longer than just a month, I feel. It's really one of my deep dive decks of the whole year, along with the reading of the books and learning about the Tree of Life and Kabbalah. So this is really the start of it. Let me show you the backs. The backs are like this. So not fully reversible because of the changing colours. The card stock is, it's got a slight sheen on it. You can see it's reflecting against the light coming through my window, but it's not super glossy. It's nice and flexible. Yeah, I like the card stock. It's not overly glossy. It's not overly thick. I do like the backs. I love all of this for added interest. And the artwork, the artwork is gorgeous. Now don't forget, I have a love of sacred geometry as well. There's something about patterns and colour that just grabs my imagination, and you'll see throughout this deck that that is all there within the deck. So without further ado, let's start flipping through. So it's the Magus. Okay, so I got to this card with Karma, and I decided that not only do I want to flip through, but you can see I've got my Thoth deck out, which I'm still really new. Well, I'm right at the start of wanting to study this as well. I'm just putting it back in order because I've decided I'm not only going to flip through this, I'm going to flip through it next to my Thoth deck, because I want to see if there's similarities. I want to see if the keywords on them line up, and I don't know my Thoth well enough to be able to tell you what the similarities are between the two decks without actually putting them side by side. So I'm just sorting this out, guys. Then we're going to start the flip through again, and we're going to just look at it next to Thoth, because it's something that I was curious about anyway. So yeah, let's do that and let's just see how they match up. Okay, so let's restart again. Let's flip through with the Thoth next to it. So we're going to do the majors first. They're both the magus. They've both got the Roman numerals on. You've got the eagle on the shield there, you've got the eagle on the leg, but you can see the same position. There is a similarity in, if you look at the colours scheme, and then you look at the colour scheme of here, I can see a similarity in the colours. And again, the white and the blue creeping in. Yeah, there is a slight following with colour, isn't there? I mean, but there's fortune and the wheel of fortune, so. Got the hanged man. I just think it's really interesting to see them together. There is a definite crossover of colour scheme, I think. Temperance is temperance for its art in this deck, in the Thoth. Yeah, that's very goat-like, isn't it? Tower, yeah. And the star, this is such a beautiful star card. I mean, I love them in both decks, but because this is a flip through the artwork in this deck, I don't want to get distracted by the Thoth, but I just think it's really interesting to see. And when I saw the different title, and because I'm sure I've read this follows a more Thoth-like system, I will come back to you and let you know more as I read the books. This is really just an initial flip through, really to look at the artwork, but I just suddenly felt like I really wanted to look at it next to the Thoth deck. I mean, there's something quite similar, isn't there? Which is why I love the Thoth deck. I mean, look at that, look how similar that is. And again, you've got a different titles. They're not the same. This is the Eon and this is Resurrection, but they're different keywords, and both of those are the universe. Okay, really interesting. I do love the artwork in both decks. In the Tower of the Spirit, the swords are called the Wind suit. This is called Swords, so that's different. In Thoth, of course, you've got the Knights of the Kings, you've got Queens, you've got Princes and Princesses. In the Tower of the Spirit, you've got Father, Mother, Son and Daughter. No, you haven't. You've got Father, Mother, Brother and Sister is what you've got for the court. So they do have different names, but let's have a look. I see straight away that the this card is on horseback, so is this one. That's similar. Both very much in the air. The Brother of Wind. I just love them. I really love this deck. You've got that vibrant sword swinging princess or sister. Again, there is that similarity, isn't there? And then the 10, let's look at the keywords. This is why I wanted to do it. I wanted to look at the keywords, and I wouldn't have noticed the colour palettes if I hadn't have done this. So the Thoth, you've got Ruin. In the Tower of the Spirit, you have got the Way of the Cross. You've got Cruelty in the Screen. Power Shield or Interference in the Thoth. Futility this side and Many Tongues that side. Clarity and Science, that you've got the cross in the centre there with the sword shapes going in. Again, you've got a similar geometric shape there with the central upright and then the other swords coming in. Oh, this is quite fascinating. Right, the 5 of Swords is Fear or Defeat. not similar shapes there, but similar colour palette. Those are different. The 3 is recognition or sorrow. 2 is the crossing and peace. It's very laid out the same. And then you've got just the Ace of Swords, or it's called Dawn in this deck. Oh, I love them both, but I absolutely love this. Okay, you've got Fire then, which is Wands. Okay, let's have a look at the Wands then in comparison. Again, you've got a father or a knight, which is the King of Wands, seated on a horse, and you've got similar direction in that. Yeah, there is similarities in that image too. So you've got the Queen of Fire or the Queen of Wands. So the brother here, which would be the Knight of Wands, and you can see he's seated on what does look like a lion, and there's a lion here. And then the Sister of Fire, or the Princess of Wands here. Isn't this deck just so beautiful? Okay, then we've got the Cage or Oppression. They're different keywords, but they are so stunning. I mean, you've got the oranges and the yellows in these, and then you go to this sort of dark green and reds. I can't see as this is, you know, not meant to be like this. So the Eye of Fire or Strength, Swiftness or the Lightning Path, Courage or Valor. So you can see the same geometrical shape here going on. Glory or Victory. You can see the colours in this shape here. They match the colours in the butterfly there. And then we've got Struggle or Strife in the Thoth. I'm really interested to learn all of this symbolism, because I know there's symbolism here that experts at Thoth or experts at the Tower of the Spirit deck are going to be going, yeah, of course it's there. I don't know it yet. I'm just spotting it for the first time. I mean, there's such similarities in some of these colour palettes, aren't there? So we've got Birth of Light here for the 3 of Wands. Gosh, that is such a beautiful painting. Virtue here. Oh, I love that. 2 of Wands is Dominion in the Thoth. It's Convergence in the 2 of Fire in the Tower of the Spirit. And then the Ace of Wands, which is Force in this deck. Okay, what have we got next? We have got Cups or Water in the Tarot of the Spirit. Okay, let's have a look at these. Again, you've got seated figures on horseback, and again, you've got the same direction. Again, similar colour palette. The Queen of Cups has a very watery, similar feel. We've got the Princess. Oh, hang on, that's not right. There we go, the Prince. That's better. Yeah, this looks like wings behind him, and look, there's wings there. It almost looks like a bird, doesn't it? I'm sure I'm not imagining this, right, guys? I'm not, am I? You've got the ripples down here, and the Princess of Cups with the swan and the swan and the turtle and the turtle. Okay, the 10. Look at this peach in there. Happiness and the rainbow mirror for the 9 with that purple. Still Waters with that green, and these vases that have got this peach again. Insight circle there in the middle, and all the cups around the edge, which is the 5 of Cups. The 4 of Cups, or the 4 of Water, is the flood. And then the 3 of Cups, stream of love or abundance. And the 2 of Water. I mean, that is such a beautiful card. Isn't that gorgeous? And the Ace of Cups. Yeah, again, a very just similar colour palettes between the two. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And then finally, we've got Pentacles or Earth in this deck. Okay, so we get to the final Pentacles suit, and we can see actually the Father, or the King of Pentacles, or Discs, so the Knight of Discs in the Thoth, isn't on a horse here, so, but the colour palette is the same. The Queen of Earth, or the Queen of Discs, both with the horns on. Okay, let's turn those around. There we go, that's better. Yeah, again, we've got the bull in this one for the Prince of Discs. And we've got the Princess of Discs, or the Sister of Earth. Oh, both of those cards are divine. Okay, 10 of Discs, Wealth, or the Great Work. 9 of Discs, Gain, or the Zenith. 8 of Discs, Prudence, or the Mountain. 7 of Discs, or the 7 of Earth, is the Garden, or Failure. Those look really different, don't they? We've got Success and Beauty for the 6. Worry, or the Nadir, for the 5. Power for both of them on this. For the 4 of Discs. Works is the same. We've got some keywords right at the end that match up. Cause and Effect, or Change. We've got similar Sacred Geometry and shapes and layout. Similar colour palettes, Form, and the Ace. And then we've got that card, which could possibly link with this card. I don't know, I'm not sure. So the Ace of Discs, you can see a similar colour palette there. So that's it, guys. That is the Tarot of the Spirit, which turned into something different. I just really felt pulled to start looking at this in comparison to my Thoth deck, just to see if keywords were the same. They're not the same throughout. There are a few that are similar. The colour palette was very similar. The layout and feel of the cards is very similar. So I have heard that this is a Thoth based deck, but I'm not saying that for definite because I haven't done my own study and I haven't read the books yet and I haven't worked with it yet. But it was interesting, I think, just to look at the artwork. I hope you found it interesting too. At least now we all know where the similarities are visually, if we're just doing a flip through and just looking at the artwork. I think it's completely stunning. I really, really do. I just love it. When I saw it, I actually thought to myself, that is the most beautiful deck that I have ever seen, and I still stick with that. There is something about it that I just adore. I could look at it all day. If this was an exhibition of paintings, I don't think you would get me out of there all day. I love it. I hope you enjoyed it too. So that was my comparison, flip through, stroke little study of these two texts together. Tarot of the Spirit by Pamela and Joyce Eakins. Okay guys, thanks for watching and I will see you next time. Bye.